The time was March 1983. The Cold War was in its most volatile phase. A U.S. Navy submarine, conducting espionage on Soviet submarines beneath the Arctic's icy waters, abruptly lost contact along with its secret transponder. It was assumed the vessel had been sunk by the Soviets. A Navy intelligence specialist, spy, was aboard this submarine, carrying the master map of Soviet Navy submarine deployments. If that map fell into Soviet hands, America's entire defense shield would be compromised. The Navy command's decision was firm. No ship rescue could be sent, as the Soviets would immediately detect it. The mission code name, Operation Sea Ghost. The team, only one pilot, Lieutenant Deck Rush, flying the P-3C Orion anti-submarine warfare aircraft. His job was to land on the freezing water and find the spy whose survival chance was less than 1%. The P-3C Orion was a slow, four-engine surveillance plane, never designed for water landings. Rush had to fly above the Arctic Circle. Rush immediately spotted two Soviet MiG-23 fighters on his radar. The Soviets knew an American plane was in their area of interest. Rush's strategy: the P-3C couldn't fight fighter jets. Instead of hiding in the clouds, Rush deliberately flew his aircraft only 50 feet above the ocean surface. This made it extremely dangerous for the Soviet MiGs to lock onto him or attack. The MiG deception. The MiGs threatened Rush, but Rush adjusted his electronics to make his plane appear like a large, useless fishing trawler. The MiGs investigated, assumed it was a non-threat, and returned to base. It was an enormous gamble that paid off. Rush began scanning the area where the submarine had sunk. Suddenly, a sensor picked up an unusual ping signal. It was a small, Navy-issued life raft container known as a tin can. The spy had survived the challenge. Rush knew the only way to pull the spy out of the water was to land on the water himself. The P-3C could be ditch-landed in an emergency, but a subsequent takeoff was considered virtually impossible. Water landing. Rush broke contact with Navy Command and made the decision unilaterally. He spotted a small patch of open water, surrounded on all sides by massive icebergs. It was a terrifying landing. The P-3C struck the water with a tremendous roar. The aircraft was intact, but it was now a sea vessel, trapped amidst the ice. Rush and his flight engineer, Sergeant Taylor, immediately deployed a small inflatable boat from the aircraft. They rowed through the freezing water towards the tin can. The spy's condition. The spy, operational specialist, O.S. Williams, was suffering from severe hypothermia, but the master map was safely secured inside his sealed uniform. Williams, shivering. "Deck, they are below." Just then, Rush picked up a signal on his sonobuoy sensor. It was a Soviet submarine returning to hunt them. The encirclement. The submarine was now directly beneath the P-3C Orion. The Soviets knew the plane was on the water. Rush knew that if the submarine launched a torpedo, they would be instantly destroyed. Rush had to act immediately. He secured Williams inside the plane and ordered his engineer to start the aircraft. The takeoff challenge. The P-3C's engine started, but gaining speed in the icy water was nearly impossible. The plane was only moving forward like a slow boat. Rush's final gambit. He released all the remaining anti-submarine depth charges the plane carried into the area where the submarine was located, but he did not set the fuses. The deception. The submarine crew believed they were under attack. They immediately performed an emergency deep dive to evade the perceived torpedoes. Using this crucial moment, Rush powered the P-3C with full thrust. Racing across the water, the plane struggled violently. Despite the ice accumulating on its wings, Rush managed to lift the plane into the air with incredible skill. The escape. The P-3C Orion, which should have sunk, was safely airborne. Rush headed towards the Alaska base. Williams and the map were both secure. Operation Sea Ghost was a success. Lieutenant Deck Rush received the highest honors for valor. His story became a symbol of Navy aviation's ingenuity, extreme survival, and a pilot who won a submarine war from the air.